I just blew in from the Windy City. The Windy City is a mighty pretty, but it ain't got what we got. You didn't know I sang Broadway, did you? Now, today, we're going to talk about Chicago. 1871, look at that city. That city was well intact. Look at those bridges, look at those buildings, look at the whole place. And you all know what happened on this date, October the 8th to the 10th, 1871. The whole place got destroyed in fire. And 1871, that happened at the time when America became a corporation crown colony. Now, we're going to get stuck into here some of the evidence that it's going to get a little bit freaky. So, that's not why they call it the Windy City, but I can tell you it was pretty windy that night. Look at that. Look at that. It is like a artificial wind almost, if you want to call it that. Hell of a lot of damage, all damage. I don't know whether this is a mixture of a photograph and a drawing. The people, the way they are scarpering down through the streets, it doesn't look right. And I mean, look at this damage. Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicked over a lantern and burnt the whole fucking city to the ground. I mean, it's a joke. Look at what you're looking at. It's the same damage as the San Francisco earthquake, 1906. It's the same fucking damage as Hiroshima. It's the same damage as Dresden during the war. It's the same damage you see in the old black and white photographs of St. Louis, Missouri. In the 1860s in the Civil War, same damage, same tech, same weaponry. Paradise Lahaina. Walls sliced to pieces. And even this here wall here on the left hasn't got any scorch damage on it. The timber here is all laying on the ground, fell out, didn't burn. All this timber here didn't burn. Weird shit. Look at these chimney stacks. Play a little bit of this video. Now look at that beautiful church burnt to the ground. There's another church burnt, not to the ground. And there's another church right there. And as we pan around, we probably see some more. So I'm asking myself, I mean, what have you got? Episcopalians next to Hooges, next to Jayhawkers? 3 churches right next to one another. If you look at those old black and white photos of San Francisco, of the panoramic view from 1877, they've got church piled against church, next to another church. I mean, there must have been fucking 65 different fucking religions in the place. Sven P, he's got a channel in the UK, SVEN, capital P. And he lives in a small town just outside Bournemouth in England. It's the entire town, I think he said, was about 3/4 of a square mile. And there are 23 churches in it. And these things were not not built for collective religious gatherings. They were functional machines to do with water, steam, frequency, energy, electricity, the whole fucking lot. Why would they pile them all on top of one another and have them all connected? Would you look at all that damage? A fire is a bloody terrible thing. But how come this wooden shack here didn't burn? The trees here are still standing. And this is the type of stuff that got built by cowboys in the 1800s. Not this. So, poles haven't burnt. Something's fishy. And the donkey and cart people. I mean, it is absolute devastation. How they rebuilt it, I do not know. And then this bunch of motherfuckers showed up. We found a city. We found a city just lying here in a pile of rubble. Let's take it over. Look at this guy here with the hidden hand. Size of him, fucking Nephilim. And he brings fucking Abe Lincoln along with him to have a look at it. And one of his slaves there behind. I mean, and they're still running the show. This lot came in, took over the city, still running the fucking city. And again, total devastation. Fucking not, you can compare all of them, but you really don't know what to compare it to. Horses pulling wagons that ran on electricity, and again, poles that did not burn down. Take a little look at that. That's not Chicago. That's Cambodia in the 1960s. Henry Kissinger dropped 3 million tons of bombs. Oh look, 007's on. 3 million tons of bombs and killed 3 million people. A fucking 1 tons of explosives for one person. Yeah. And I just picked this up from Divergent, Nico's channel yesterday, showing up a picture of Dresden. Same fucking damage. But all these trees are all intact. That tree isn't burnt. Something happened, whatever it was, it attacked the concrete and the metal. The concrete because of its metal content, and the metal that melted. But whatever it was, like hell, like paradise, it wouldn't burn things made of wood, like trees and gateposts. Now, let's get to the tricky bit, okay? The Great Fire of Chicago, October the 8th, 1871. Now, as far as I know, this is a page from a 1901 book, supposedly, allegedly, so they say, it came from a Chicago newspaper picture a couple of days after the event. So, where do you go from here? Let me read out what this says. You probably can't see it here on the small screen. If you've got a big screen, you're going to be able to see it, okay? The Great Fire commenced on Sunday evening, October the 8th, and continued until Tuesday, October the 10th, consuming the business portion of the city's public buildings, hotels, interstellar trading depots, newspaper offices, railroad depots, and extending over an area of 5 square miles. The fire began when immigrant aliens, feeling cheated in a business transaction, took to the skies in their floating saucer crafts and employed their destructive ray. Interstellar trading was suspended in Chicago soon after the fire. Here's the fucking disturbing thing. A group of immigrant aliens feeling cheated in a business transaction. Whatever was going on, if there's any factuality to this whatsoever, right? Whatever was going on, they had a deal with the people in the city. Because, well, look, man, this tech has been around for as long as the earth has been around. It's not in our face all the time. Yeah, we see things flying through the sky and we go, oh, look, what the fuck is that? But this tech has been around forever. So why would it not have been around then? And then we were going through a time when the country is being taken over by the crown. Now, All I can say is the fucking mayor of Chicago at the time was the same dumb fucking bitch that ran the show right throughout the whole fucking past 5 year 4 or 5 year fucking disaster. Chicago is one of the murder capitals of the world. They're slaughtering one another, and this lefty gobshite system you cannot trust. They're incapable of keeping a deal. They're incapable of having a business transaction with another and sticking to the fucking deal. I bet you had they stuck to the deal, these immigrant aliens feeling cheated in a business transaction would not have burned the fucking city down. Funnily enough, now I can't recall, but it was a way back. It could have been Michelle Gibson actually. On the night of the Chicago fire, 3 cities burnt down, all in a triangle, 60 equilateral triangle. We're all 60 degrees from one another. You could draw the triangle, it's equilateral. 3 cities burnt on the same night, including Chicago. I can't remember the other 2. It's been a long time. And then you had Lahaina, not long back. You had Paradise before that, where maybe anybody that had blue paint, maybe there was no blue paint back then to paint the fucking building blue to make sure it didn't burn. But whoops. But Paradise had straight lines of blaze. Straight fucking lines, straight cut lines. Everything burnt on this side, nothing burnt on this side. A house burnt in half, straight line. Not how wind and fire act. So there's something else going on. So has this been going on for a long time? Is this what happened that night in Chicago? It does not fucking surprise me that the mayor and the city council can't stick to a fucking deal. Low-life, scumbag, cheating, fucking Khazarian mafia motherfuckers. I wonder who built the city, and I wonder who ran the city, and I wonder who conducted commerce in the city. Now, with this tech in the sky, up here, compared to this fucking tech on the ground, in the water, down here. This tech down here in the ground, in the fucking water down here, is not the tech that built this city that we are looking at earlier on in the early pictures. This is more the type of fucking tech that constructs a city like that. And all those religious buildings in the city for all them different 10 fucking thousand sects inside Christianity. You believe that? Inside Christianity there are 10,000 different sects. If there was any truth to the story that Jesus appeared 2,000 years ago and not 1,000 years ago, I did the figures. That's a new fucking religious sect every 10 weeks for 2,000 years. In order to get 10 fucking thousand religious, Episcopalians, Hoojas, Seventh-day Adventists, Presbyterians, Mormons, Quakers, Jayhawkers. You fucking, I mean, keep going and keep going and keep going. You go to other parts of the world where you have Christianity, and they've got their fucking way of doing things. So how did one man come up and say a couple of things like, don't do this and don't do that, turn into fucking 10,000 sects? Anyway, I'm getting a bit off track here. But that's the disturbing thing, that they were incapable of sticking to a deal, and they didn't care whether they destroyed the city or not, really. And we really don't fucking know what happened. You know, this is weird, But not, it's not just Chicago, it's every fucking city in America could burn to the ground. And as soon as this happens, those who have construction companies, friends of the mayor, friends of the governor, friends of the prime minister, nieces and nephews and cousins and all this fucking lot, they're the lot that get the contracts to rebuild the cities. Oh, let's have a war. Of course, let's have a war. I've gone through this before with you. Who gets involved in a war and what? They don't give a fuck. Human sacrifice is the main thing in a war. And after that, International Bank of Settlements comes in, and every human that lost its life has to be paid for. That's what dog tags are for. Has to be paid for. And there are a bunch of vultures that come around with their hand out for their commissions. Because as soon as the war is over, you need 10,000 fucking lawyers. You need 1,000 fucking judges. You need 2 or 3 forests full of paperwork for to make the paper to fucking do your calculations. So, do they care? No, they don't. Do they care about Chicago today? No, they fucking don't. Did they care about Chicago in 1871? No, they fucking didn't. This is probably part of a crown takeover in 1871, where, okay, let's secretly make a deal with the fucking immigrant aliens. And then when we've got all the papers signed, we'll cheat them and we'll keep all the fucking money and all the gold. We'll hide it where they can't get it. And fucking Zorg here on the ship is going, we will exterminate you if you do not pay us. And you go, fuck off, we're not paying you. I'm the mayor of Chicago. I'm Mrs. fucking Lightfat. It's a fucking Native American name. You fucking nicked that. And anyway, what happens next? Boys don't get their money. Say, fuck this, let's just burn the place and get the fuck out of here. And don't come back. Leave them to it. But are they coming back? Or have some motherfuckers on this side developed this technology and they're using it against us? Because I don't think these people would have done this if they hadn't been cheated. And I don't think they'd show up now and do us any harm. Because if they've got this tech which out fucking weighs ours, they could have come in at any time and destroyed us. Where have they gone? Are they hiding under the ocean? Are they hiding in the mountains? Have they gone to Hyperborea? Are they from continents on planets that are adjacent to our planet? Make of it what you will. 1901 book published this and said it was from a newspaper clipping from one of the Chicago newspapers. Probably if I zoomed in there, you'd probably get more detail of it. But now here's another thing. Was it such a common practice for people to see such things in the sky that putting this thing in the newspaper the next day didn't mean anything? They're used to this type of stuff. There's another fucking thing. Were people so used to these things in the sky, like we are today? We walk out, we look up, there's fucking helicopters everywhere, there's airplanes everywhere. We don't bother. Like back in when the first helicopter flew, everyone was staring at it. When the first airplanes were flying, they were all fucking staring at it and gawking at it. But now, we pass absolutely no remarks on them whatsoever because they're just such a commonplace. Is that the same there? These things were going around, moving in and out. Nobody passed any remarks on them because they were such a common thing. That's another thing. Again, history books aren't telling us what was going on. You get on Google Earth and you Google the Earth on the United States of America, you can see the whole place was fucking carpet bombed. You go out across the Midwest, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, these places, you can see the remains of huge cities that have been destroyed. So did they fucking really get upset, these aliens, and burn the whole fucking place down? I don't know. I don't know shit. I'm just showing you what's here. And I doubt whether they would, unless it was corporation crown policy all over the United States, in every city, in every state, to cheat these people. Not pay them their fucking gold, which they probably deserve. Well, they wouldn't have done this. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm getting fucking hungry. It's breakfast time. You go for what you will, people. You know that there's a lot of damage has been done. All the cities in the United States have been burned to the ground. How did it happen? Who built them? Who were the people with the tech that ran the show before the crown? Right, there we are. We're nearly at 21 minutes. I'm going to leave it at that. Love you all. Take care.